Hey guys, Clumsy here. Didn't forget my cap this time. Crazy hair hidden, mostly. How's everybody doing? Thank you for joining me on this Clumsy Trucking Friday. Glad to see the guys online already. Right on schedule. We have Gamaste first on the list. Super early, 10 minutes early. Thanks man, appreciate it. Followed by Jay and Scotsman, at least in terms of chatting. Jay, I think, is lagging bad though. Twitch. No transcode either. Perfect. Hey Calvin, welcome back. Thanks for the reco on the physics mod. I haven't tried it yet, but I saw that the forum thread is getting a bit of traction. We'll see where it gets to. Scotsman, you need to get Derail Valley. You'll love it. If I loved it and am not a full-on train fan, I think you will. You absolutely will. Now I will have a giveaway of Derail Valley soon, so maybe you'll have a chance there. We'll see. I'll share more later if I remember. Hey Tom, yes, go ahead. Eat up, eat and watch. Perfect combo. Yarr. Maybe that's not the right expression. That's reserved for someone we don't like. Hey Mars, thank you for 18 months. Goodness. GG. As gold as it can get. 3-month streak as well. Thank you, appreciate it. Hey OM, glad you made it. Now let me preempt you. The stream will last for 3 hours from now, more or less. That's when it will end. Go set your timer. Good morning, Alex. Glad you made it, man, as always, and thank you for the heads up. Unfortunately, I did not make it in time for Project Japan. I think I'm not one of the cool kids. I'll share more details as we go. But we will for sure check it out soon, once it's out. Hey, Lucas. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. I heard something. Music to my ears. Let me skip there for a bit. Sonoma, good day. All. Thank you for 5 months in a row. Thank you, man. Appreciate the resub. Despite me not streaming or recording a lot of flight sim videos recently. But yeah, we will get back there soon. Alright, so for today, guys, yes, the cap on, dang it. Hidden Shaggy. Oh, Jack won't be here tonight. I see. Yeah, sorry, couldn't join the stream. Long trip tomorrow. Hope he keeps safe. Yar for him. Offline yar. How many rollovers today? So for today, guys, we're not continuing with part 2, unfortunately, but we are checking out something cool. Just as cool. We are checking out more of the Romania 1:5 map by Alexandru. I checked it out a few days ago in the YouTube channel, so posted some videos there. But apparently I was not checking out the best places. So if you were impressed by those places that we were in those videos, this trip, this time, should impress you even more, because apparently I drove through the oldest part of the map, and you know how it goes with these amazing map modders. They are evolving as they develop the map, and so the oldest areas tend to be a bit more of the rougher edges, and then as time goes by, as they learn new tricks, they implement that, so you can distinctly see the difference between the old and new areas in their map. That's usually how it goes. Even SCS has that effect, right? So it makes a lot of sense. So Alexandru commented on the video, as well as some other fans of the map, recommended some trips for me, so we'll go and check it out. I'm actually not sure if it will last the entire 3 hours or if you can discover the entire map by then, but we'll see and we'll enjoy. And also making it just in time for the stream. Let me load it up already. EVR. Finally. We've been waiting for this. I know everyone has been waiting for this. EVR has released his first sound update for Fmod for 1.37, and he sent a copy to me. Thank you, EVR. So this is what we will be testing with today. We are driving with the MP4, SCS MP4, nothing fancy, not even any mod in there, just the default MP4 with the Actros tuning pack. Oh, and yes, that's something I forgot to enable, MP4. Because I remember I have a dashboard for the MP4, this one by NFSHP. Let's go and enable that. I should put it maybe below the sounds. I'm not sure. There were issues before with this conflict. Let's try it this way, like below the sound mod, and if we get an error, I'll put it above. But yeah, EVR and the dashboard mods don't usually jive because EVR likes adding dashboard sounds, so he overwrites the dashboard files, and sometimes that causes an issue. We'll see. Yes, that's the one OM. Thank you. Hey, drive safely. Thanks for joining, man. How have you been? Thank you for the constant updates. It is a must-have definitely for me. Why am I in a different... no, it's the same profile. Really must have the sound fixes back, regardless of which profile map I'm in. Right, let's go with that. Calvin, I think you were asking something a while ago with the terrain errors in Pro Mods. I probably am getting it. I'm just not looking at the console at all because I have so many red entries there. My profile has been through a lot of different maps. At one time it had the TSM map in there. So a lot of outdated and not any more active mods that are causing errors. So I don't look at my log because it's just filled with red items. So as long as I don't stutter, as long as I don't crash, I'm happy. But that's the thing. That's why we don't go with part 2 today. Because since we started our long journey last week, there have been so many updates with the maps. With the road connections, with the background map, with the bug fixes, localization fixes, and all that stuff that I think if I force myself to continue our journey without updating the map mods, we will just encounter crashes. And if I do update the map mods, then the journey will reset. So it's either way, it will not work. so I'll probably just update the files and we'll do a long journey once everything is stable. But this is how it usually is. When Pro Mods releases a new update, the other map mods have to adjust to it. And so they have to add their fixes. Because they don't have full visibility on the change log, so they have to do the fixes after the fact, after Pro Mods releases their updates. So after the Pro Mods release, let's give it maybe 2 or 3 weeks for the other maps to adjust to it. Alright, getting back on chat. Sorry for the long monologue there. His profile needs its haircut. Exactly. Yeah, that's something that we're really looking forward to. I think Drive Safely is still working on that. The sounds after you fill up. This is how the truck looks. And actually, for a default SCS truck with no mods, it doesn't look half bad, does it? Doesn't look half bad. The Actros tuning pack really is an amazing DLC. If you haven't had it, if you haven't bought it, I highly recommend you do. It's worth it. Are those supposedly train sounds? Maybe? Not sure. Hey NL, glad you made it. Hey HUD. Sorry I almost missed you, but not quite. Thank you for joining. No worries NL, you are just in time for starting the engine. Let's go ahead and hear how the engine sounds like. Euro 6. And of course, what else can you expect from EVR? Now in Fmod territory. One sec. Ooh, that might be a bug there. See if I can replicate it. I heard something cutting off, and I'm not sure if it was just a stutter on my end or a gap in the sound files. Let's hear how it goes inside. It does seem to have some cuts here and there. Might need some polish, but we'll drive through it and we'll see how it goes. Also, the dashboard seems to be working. Awesome. Nice. Yeah, sometimes you hear that, like the cutting off. Not sure why. Maybe as the different rev sounds transition. That one. Or could it be on my end, guys? It's EVR sounds, okay. And then, oh, you were asking about if these were Crishbom or not. Yeah, alright, so, but let's drive through. Maybe this will be something that we will get to enjoy more. Now, the one that was recommended for me, let's turn on the music here. All roads lead to Craiova. I think this is the newest area because everybody in the comments were recommending I go here. How I go there exactly, there are different variations coming from Lugos to Karansebes. Sorry for the pronunciation, I have no idea how to pronounce these guys. But yeah, taking that route is where they recommend going. Maybe I should have started in Craiova, huh? But yeah, well, we'll make our way south. I mean, I think we have enough time for discovering everything. It's not a big map at the moment, even though it is 1:5, so it will take longer than initially anticipated. Did I miss something? Stream on Derail Valley. Oh, glad to hear that you enjoyed it. Yes, I am. I would like to stream it, but not sure how I can find the time if the schedule frees up a bit. Hey Max, thanks for joining. It will be put back once you figure out how to add it to the new sound engine. Yeah, SES has not been very forthcoming with it. Alright, Scotsman. No worries, Hud. Just in time. Let's turn off the music here. You know what? No, let's keep it on. You hear it too. Okay, let's go and continue. So what have you guys been playing, driving? Where have you been spending your time in? ATS, ETS2? Let's go and start with that. That seems like a promising route. 14 tons of pesticides from Cimeria to Sarmizegetusa. Sarmizegetusa. Good luck. Good luck with that. All right. I am the same as you, OM. Completely addicted with that game as well. Just so good. I just started driving the steam train, getting used to it. Well, one thing I noticed, guys, that could be a bit tricky with this map. The jobs tend to be very quick in expiring. You can see 5 minutes, 4 minutes. So usually by the time we get there, the job will not be existing anymore. So that's something that I think needs to be fixed. The job, and I'm not sure if that's something you set on the map or that's automatically calculated. But yeah, I do notice a lot of those quickly expiring ones. Maybe we have to choose something else. I would like that, though. Steinbruch. That should be right around the corner here. Well, we'll see if we can make it. Still playing SnowRunner, level 20. Good deal, man. Hey Sky, welcome back. How have you been? The sounds are super crisp, but I do get a lot of that cutting off, which is very weird. And I'm not sure if it's on my end, because EVR released a video on this. And I think I heard it only once, or maybe it was just my player stuttering. But here, I'm hearing it quite often, so I'm thinking maybe we have a mod conflict somewhere. Did we make it? No, we did not. I hate that. And now there is nothing here. Yeah, that is something that needs to be adjusted. That has happened to me like 3 times already. Every single time I try to take a job here, it runs out on me. Okay, let's go and find something else. The good thing is there will always be new jobs that are created, but unfortunately not the direction that we are looking for. Well, we can take that for now. Why not? Car 4 doesn't expire quickly. Goes to the north, and from there we can go south. Why not? Your birthday, you might be able to see SCS HQ in Czech Republic. Ooh, you are traveling? Nice. Enjoy. I probably skipped through it, Tom. Can you type it again? Sorry, I'm lagging behind a bit. That's the one we're going to. Okay. So let's go and explore this area for now. You have the same problem with the cutting off sounds. Oh man, that sucks. You might have to fix that. Because that is a real immersion breaker. We might have to switch trucks if that continues on. Yeah, that happens quite a lot, huh? Maybe if you're in automatic, it won't cut off. Let's try it. Because I'm sure he would have heard that. That is very obvious. So there must be some different parameter he is using. Underload, it sounds like an MP3 V6 but not an MP4. Oh, I wouldn't be able to distinguish. I'm so bad at distinguishing engine sounds. I just know if I like it or not. Yeah, it does happen quite often, huh? Man, that sucks. Okay, I think we'll have to wait for a further update. We might have to switch trucks here, guys. Look at the traffic here. Romanians might agree. This is very realistic looking. And I don't have any traffic mods enabled, so this is as pure as it gets. Yeah, in the videos, there is no such stutter. In the exterior, it seems okay. One is the one FSG map. That's the France, Switzerland, Germany map. Oh yeah, I haven't checked that out yet. I think it's I think it was released a couple of months back, and I'm waiting for updates so that the map grows in scope, and then I'll check it out. How do you find it so far, HUD? Very small but high quality. Oh, sounds promising. Found a route in Norway, northwest of Oslo. Yes, I know that route. Yes, very memorable, very unique. Roundabout inside the tunnel. Volvo D13K with work in progress engines. That is good to hear. We'll check it out soon. Well, as soon as he releases it, that is. Traffic might be a bit too realistic. There we go. I think some bit of fine-tuning would be needed for this truck. But so far, not as many stutters anymore in the sounds, huh? Maybe it's on low speeds, more or less. Hey, Sky. Wow. Thank you for 8 months, man. Appreciate it. GG. Hey, Arias. The Romanian himself. How are you? Oh man, that's a shame. So what do you guys think? Would you like to continue with this truck or switch to the Volvo until these stuttering sounds are fixed? What the heck? My screen just exploded with something and I'm trying to understand what it is. Just woke up. Very different timing, huh? Oh, I think that alert will come up multiple times because Sky just gifted subs to everybody. Wow. Thanks very much, man. Oh my goodness. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. You subbing alone is more than enough, but giving the gift of subs is something else entirely. Thanks, man. GG indeed. I think he's trying to take your throne, Alex. Sub bomb hype. Yeah, my overlay was not built for such sub bombing. We like it. There you go. Sky has the throne now. The gifter badge. Thanks, man. Wowzers. Hey, Juke. Welcome, new subs. Let's switch. Yes. I think I would agree with that point. Unfortunately, that means we'll have to reset this as well. Oh man, that's such a shame because this truck looks so good. Okay, let's switch trucks. We save it here. Now I am testing another sound mod. Maybe I shouldn't be testing it during the stream itself, but I found something from, I forgot his name. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Rail Fan. I think that's part of his name. Rail Fan something. You're also working on a sound for next gen Scania V8 for 1.37. Oh wow. No problem, Max. Thank you for informing me. Excited to check that out. Make sure to join the Discord server and link us to it once it's out. Custom company. Thanks, Alex, for the link. There you go. Drive safely as a sub now. Welcome, subs. So these are the open pipe sounds. I think these are originally from Krishboom. And then Mr. Railfan, I'm sorry I forgot the full name, moved it, converted it for Fmod. So I haven't really tested it yet. I think the engine start sound is missing. Not so sure. Oh, that's loud. Stay inside. Well, I like that. That is very smooth. Is it too loud on your end, guys? I can weaken it a bit. There we go. Thank you, Alex. Our trail fan. Oh, it's not trail fan. Even that I got wrong. I'll call him Raf. I hope that's okay with him. Text fix didn't solve any of the terrain errors. Is that pro mods or because of the compatibility? Maybe Arias has some inputs for you. He would know what you are talking about more than I do, at least. Okay, let's switch back to manual here. Alright, let's see where we can go. Maybe this time we can go to Craiova. That's the one. That's the one. Perfect. Yes. And it expires in 1 hour 15, so that's even more perfect. But it's interesting that it's making me go around this way when I could actually go through south here. There might be something wrong with the route there. Let's go and see. Oh, OM is a sub now as well. You have Sky to thank for that. Thank you guys. So who did we get as new subs? Let me see. NLOM, Liam, Drive Safely, and Wise Man. Hey Wise Man, sorry I missed greeting you. There we go. I'm loving this truck, even if it is SCS default and doesn't have many customization options, because I found some mods in the Steam Workshop, specifically this one. The interior on this truck looks so good now with this mod in. I can't remember the name of the mod, but it should be in the mods list if you guys want to try it out. Couple that with a computer dashboard from NFSHP. Very nice. Too full at dinner. That's fine. Stop when you're full. That's a habit that I have not been able to learn yet, because I have been trained since I was little to finish my meal and not to waste food. So even if I'm full, even now, I still try to finish everything. Something feels a bit off with the sounds. I kind of like it, but I'm not sure what. Maybe you guys can place it better. You can join the forums. How long till we get there? 8 minutes it says. If that's accurate at least. Hate to waste food, can't finish it anymore. That's fine. Man, I'm loving this roundabout. I think this is the first scene that I included in the recording. The map does have its bugs. I noticed that problem as well in that junction when I was recording it. So it is still a bit rough around the edges. But my goodness, the entire view is just so good. I don't know, it just feels so natural everywhere you look. How these signs are placed, how the road markings are, and everything else. Some people don't seem to like the map so much. I think it's more on the technical aspect. Some of the map makers express their opinions about this map and they don't like it as much. I'm guessing that's because of the bugs that we've seen, so it's not as polished yet. But as a normal guy like me, as an end user who doesn't really look at the technical details, the entire driving experience is just wow. If you're looking to drive in the more country roads, and actually even highways, huh? Yeah, I remember this map has highways as well. Did you make it? Can't kick the habit of needing to finish everything. I think it's the training from our parents, because our parents are what, baby boomers. Oh, I forgot to enable the sizzle, the trailer pack, so all we have is a pretty not so good looking Transinet skin here. Well, we can make the most of it. Maybe let's take that Chrono trailer there. $385 kilometers, 7 hours divided by 5. Maybe it will take more than an hour. Oh, look at that. Overlay, upper right. Log it. Job started. Nice. With the new version of Logit, that's the plugin that connects us to the VTC, to VT log. It works with the overlay now if you enable it in the website. Very nice. Grandparents taught you not to waste food. Exactly. Yeah. It's the same with us in the Philippines. Especially during the people who lived in times of war. Wasting food is a mortal sin. Literally. Because people are dying of hunger and they've grown accustomed to making use of every piece, every bit of rice and anything they can get their hands on. Interesting. Should take at least 1.5 hours. Yeah, that's it sounds sometimes like I'm accelerating even when I have let go of the gas already. And I'm not sure if that's because of my pedal. My pedal seems to be sticking a lot more recently. There we go. Good. After a month, you would have to subscribe again. Yes. So the gift is only good for 1 month. Yeah, that one. You see that blinking thing? That's because my gas is trying to like have a little bit of input in there. You know what? Actually, I think I'll need to add a dead zone. So this one, acceleration. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, that's the problem with my wheel. Starting to get old. So to fix that, I can add a dead zone like so. There you go. So now there is no noise, some people call it. And now it works perfectly. Awesome. And it shouldn't affect the level of detail of how minuscule my inputs need to be, because I only increased the dead zone by a teeny weeny little bit. Sorry guys, I'll get back to chat in a bit. Let me just reroute this one. Yeah, it is making it hard for me to path through here. There must be a broken road somewhere. So I think we'll have to do it manually. We'll have to turn left here. And then... my goodness, this will be painful. Can only put 8 waypoints or 10 waypoints in total, I think. Oh, I think that's where the problem is. Here, I can't do anything. Oh, no, it's just I reached the limit already. My bad. Okay, so let's work with that and then let's see where we get to from there. Yeah, Japanese occupation times. Thanks, that will be great, but not necessary at all. Your presence is more than enough. Thank you, appreciate it. And I'll try to catch up with chat now, guys. Give me a bit of time. What is it? What can we do outside the house? Well, we have a park very nearby. So supposedly me and Mrs. Clumsy have no excuse to like jog, but we're so lazy. We have a swimming pool right downstairs as well. Well, it's not ours, but it's the compound's. So we can swim anytime we like. Well, not in these times. Those are closed for social distancing measures. But in the olden days, you know, that was a thing. And we have malls nearby, maybe 20-minute bus ride. So it's not that. It's very comfortable, very accessible, almost anything you think of. Casinos? No, though. Not fond of casinos, so haven't really looked if there's any. I think there is one for foreigners only. In one of the major malls here, but I've never been. Not really interested in them. By the way, if you are trying out this map, this does not work with Natural Lux immediately. You'll have to write a compatibility file. But if you are, I can share that if you are one of the NL guys who have been fortunate enough to be in the closed beta, because it is a bit tricky to make it used. Yeah, you can resub on your own, OM. Thanks, Alex. You always do it in mobile so that there's no ad block. Thanks, appreciate that. For me, what I do is I have ad block on my browser, but I like whitelist the entire YouTube, so I can support the guys who are making the videos. Hey, Naito. Icon mods. That is part of Natural Lux, I think. You mean that one? These mugs and these hanging things? That is part of Natural Lux. Kirill, the mod author of Natural Lux, made it for me. They can enter casinos but need to pay a flat fee, $100 before. I see. Only 2 casinos in Singapore, both in upscale tourist areas. I see. Shows how much I don't know about casino life. I know, I never found the excitement for it. I'd rather play a video game. It's much cheaper. It's much more enjoyable for me. That's the subtle icons. That's in the mods list. Subtle icons, look for it. It's in subtle. That is also a Natural Lux mod, but it's an add-on. It's separate from the main mod. But I'm not sure if it is compatible with 1.37 as well. Resubbing requires you to pay, was it $4.99 USD in Twitch? That's how you sub in Twitch. And there should be a resub button in there. If you are a Twitch Prime member, yikes. Is that typical Romanian driving? That's bad for us. That might be what they are, the GPS is complaining about. It knows that there's a roadblock and it doesn't want to make me go through here. Thank you for linking all this stuff, Alex. No worries. Filipino driver right here. If there's some space, we can make it through. Fail in a mission or crash your truck. Yeah, exactly. But some people, that's what they want. That's why they are craving for the casino life, because of the high stakes. It gives them more the adrenaline rush. But I can't say I am part of that club, and I am happy that I am not. I'd rather be part of the gamers club, video gamers club. Yours is set up through Amazon Prime. There you go. With Amazon Prime, you can sub for free once a month to one streamer on Twitch. But you'll have to renew it manually. It doesn't renew on its own. Shaggy finds a way. Is that the new nickname? Kinda like it. Hey Ed, welcome back, man. How have you been? Don't think it works that way, OM. You'll have to do that on your own. And don't give anyone else access to your account. That's dangerous. But no worries, you don't need to sub. It's good enough. Just enjoy the month where you have the sub, and you have a month to figure it out, so don't need to hurry about it. In case you don't, that's no worries as well. Just enjoy it. That's going to be very tricky. Okay, I think this is the part with the problem. Maybe that junction. Okay, let's go straight here. Now these sounds don't seem to have any engine brake. They do have retarder, okay. So let's use the retarder instead. Jena? I'm not sure how Romanians pronounce the J. Yeah. If you're in the right age, going to a casino from time to time, maybe just putting in a few dollars, see where it goes, it's okay. But yeah, it's a slippery slope. It gets addictive very fast, and getting addicted to casinos is almost always a bad thing. Hey Morwaz! How have you been, man? Glad you made it today. Spending our time in Romania right now, enjoying the countryside feels. I love these small towns. G'day, mate. Was that accent spot on? Thanks, Morris. Appreciate that. Yeah, you can use this stream as your lullaby. Totally fine with that. There we go. I think it's fixed now. Alright, we have the correct routing now. So how many kilometers do we need, guys? What does it say in the overlay? Invisible wall, hopefully not. We'll see. Am I familiar with Singapore's highways? Well, I've never driven through them. I've been in some of them when I take the occasional cab ride. But no, I think I don't know enough about them, so share away if you have some tidbits. Oh, I like this. What's that say? Yeah, don't ask for subs every month. Yeah, just appreciate the gift and take it at face value. Don't take your hat off. Yes, that's the plan. Even I get scared with my own hair. I try not to give the same punishment to you guys. Mrs. Clumsy still laughs at me every time she sees me. My shaggy hair. Yeah, I should change the title now. Or can you help me with that, Rohan? I think you can change the title as well from your end, so I don't have to pause the game. We had to remove the EVR sounds. They were buggy. They were cutting off randomly, which is very weird. Yeah, EVR sounds are broken, unfortunately. So we'll have to wait for a fix. Which is a real shame because I configured an entire truck for it. Yeah, I think EVR has some fine-tuning to do with the F-mod sounds. Maybe there are some intricacies that he hasn't quite locked down yet. I have a clipper, but I'm scared to touch my own hair because it might be a disaster. Mrs. Clumsy offered for me a couple of times, but I think even she is not sure of her own skills, so I was not pretty confident in trusting my hair to her. Yeah, there is a mod option for it, a mod command for it. I'm just not familiar what. That's okay, we can stop by somewhere. If you've been doing it for 20 years, then it's easy for sure. If you're doing it for first time ever, maybe not that easy. Exactly, yeah. Might end up with a mohawk and purple hair. Then I'd fall exactly where Led wants me to be in. That's fine, guys. I'll wait a couple more weeks. The barber shops are actually open already, but I'm just a bit paranoid to go out of the house and spend time outside at the moment. I'd rather wait a few more weeks to be on the safer side. Thanks, Rohan. That's great. Just change it to Romania map 1:5. Something like that. Just remove the EVR part so it's not misleading to other people who join, and leave everything else intact. Sounds for the wind turbines. Well, every little bit of detail counts, right? It all adds up to the complete experience. Man, I don't even know how a wind turbine sounds like. Do you hear some kind of like motor or like gears moving, or is it more like the wind in the huge blades slicing through the wind that you hear mostly? I'm expecting it's the latter. Kanan Sebes. Sky is not looking pretty good right now. Ooh. Okay, made it. Good. Stop by here. There you go. Thanks, Rohan. Fancy modding skills. Why do I feel like I'm going to get caught at any moment? Makes sense, Hud. Thanks for the tip. Nice. Great to hear it drive safely. We'll all benefit from it for sure. Riots. What are the riots caused by? The lockdown? Some people are growing very restless because of the lockdowns across the globe. How the wind sounds in your house. Wind sounds can range from the pleasant to the ultra horror like scary levels. Air police, run for it. So that's what they are. Makes sense now. I've been hearing these sirens for the past few weeks. Keep wondering if I'm doing something wrong. Now I know. That's Alin's making. Is this Todor Alin? Is that how you pronounce it? I've been seeing him posting a lot of map assets in the forums for our map makers. I think even the pedestrian crossing. Was that from him originally, or did Alexandru and him do it? Like they thought about it themselves. Hey Trumpster, welcome back. I think I saw that, Tom. Yeah, it's an unfortunate event. Goodness. Yeah, people really get mad about that, understandably. Has the officer explained his side? Todor Alin did all. Goodness, yeah. It's amazing, huh? He's like the... how do you call it? Because the map makers make the mods for the people, the users. But Todor Alin makes the assets for the map makers. It's like one step even deeper. Awesome stuff. SIP uses codes for traffic. So this one has SIP's traffic density somehow integrated. I think I saw that in the credits in Alexandru's page. He was thanking you, SIP, and some other people who helped him with the project. The officers were fired, I see. Yeah, rightfully so. But yeah, firing might not be enough. Yeah, exactly. Maybe they need to get charged. Those guys might want to get under a roof. Weather is not looking very good. Alin traffic. Some codes he gave to SIP. I see. So even SIP uses Todor Alin's codes for traffic. Goodness. The source. The source of them all goodies. Todor Alin. Do you know which country he's from? His name is not familiar to me. Like his name is familiar. I know I have seen him a lot in the forums, but I can't link which country that name is coming from. Is that Romanian by any chance? SIP's traffic mod is cool. Sadly, SAS games have many issues and even more with this mod. Yeah, these mods are very cool, but sometimes they tend to be very sensitive to mod conflicts or some FPS problems brought about by the more cars, which is perfectly understandable. Yeah, that's why sometimes I don't enable it, because I'm hungry for frames enough as it is. Loving the countryside feel here. He is Romanian also, from Timișoara. Nice. We had first custom borders in RoX made by Alin. Wow. I think the first time I've seen his name was either with random events or that time when SCS first introduced the parking cars. I think he made some map assets with those. I think that's where I first saw him in the forums, and initially I was thinking, what are these map assets? And it's like, is this like a mod? But apparently it's something that modders will use. Exactly that, map assets. It can't be used immediately and enabled like a normal mod. They have to be implemented in a map. Right, this guy. Spicy noodles, like the sound of that. Make me hungry. Yeah, upcoming event. Looking forward to it. The Genova Bridge construction, right? Looking forward to that one. I just hate these events because they require World of Trucks, and World of Trucks does not allow map mods. So we'll have to probably live with old school 6-year-old, 7-year-old SCS maps in some places. So no pro mods to be on the safe side. That's the one. Genova Bridge. Title change thing was cool. Opens up a lot of other mod powers you were not aware of before. Oh no, what have I done? Parked cars are FLD. Alin worked with Tiva on weather, hard bus and so on. Ah, okay. Yeah, Italy and France are great, but not Austria, Switzerland, Belgium, Netherlands, UK. Ah, there you go. Welcome back, Jay. Twitchy, twitchy. Time to go to bed. Escape. Weather on this map is also his weather divas. Ah, I see. I'm not sure if I've overridden that though. If I overwrite the climate files, does that overwrite his weather mods? Because I wanted NL skies, so I emptied out his climate file, climate SII file. So I have errors in the log saying this climate cannot be found, which is expected and what I wanted to try. He was always here, he was just stuttering like crazy, so I couldn't watch the stream. Now he's back in full power. Have not played RDR2 for weeks. What have you guys been playing? I have been enjoying Derail Valley. I think I have unlocked all the trains now, all 3 of them, but I am really enjoying the steam train. The steam train is very, how do you say, maintenance friendly in terms of costs. Adding coal and water is mostly what you need to refill, and I did a job where the cars combined were a total of 700 plus tons. I was pulling 700 tons of cars, of wagons, and it was so hard I actually ran out of water. From a full water reservoir in the steam train, I used up everything. Granted, I'm not the most efficient steam driver yet. I think I waste a lot of the water unnecessarily. But yeah, very tricky. Rocket League, no. I'm going to be very bad at it. Anything that requires a lot of reflexes, fast reflexes, I would suck. Like racing and all that stuff. Get better internet. Yeah, that's interesting. That's cool. They also gave me a copy for giveaway, and they were asking me if I could feature the update, but I already made 2 episodes. But yeah, they said that they got delayed in releasing the email, so by the time it got released, many videos were out already. But that's great, they told me I can give away the key, so I'll be doing a giveaway myself as well. Ran out of water in the Steam logo. It was not fully out yet, like I couldn't refill it anymore, but you know the slider, the bar with the steam there, it was running very low. So I think it was not yet critical, but if that, I think I made it right on the destination with a smidge left in the bar. But that would be an explosion, goodness. Would explain a lot of things, huh? OM, please don't ask other people to subscribe for you. That's considered bad practice. Yes, exactly. That email, Jay. It's great that they are increasing their team. I really appreciate the effort that they've put into not only the game, but in marketing it. You know, they have this 6-part series. I really enjoyed it. That was a great way to promote the game in the update. Very smart. Giveaways. Yes, I mentioned it a while ago, Scotsman. I think you were away though. Yeah, we'll be having giveaways for Derail Valley. So now that Jay is also doing a giveaway, so you have 2 chances to win. I'll probably mention it in my next episode. Maybe on Sunday when I drive the steam train. I'll give a link to the giveaway there. Hey Wax, welcome back, man. How have you been? Lowest 93 volts. Yeah, some people do that, right? Instead of overclocking or underclocking or undervolting at least. What is the main purpose of that? Saving electricity or what? Preserving the component's life because you don't use its full power? I mean, overclocking, I get. You want more performance out of it. Bam. Bot. Beaten by a bot. Oh yeah, what is HBO Max, Scotsman? I saw you post the link in the Discord, but I wasn't able to check it yet. I get a higher cut from Patreon, definitely. Yeah, Twitch cuts like 30%, gets 30% of the revenue, something along those lines. Patreon has like, very little cut. I'm not sure if it's 1% or 10%. Very big variance there. But yeah, definitely a lot bigger cut in Patreon, and also a lot more direct, because in Twitch there has to be like a certain threshold. I think right now it's 75 USD or something before they pay you out, and if it's below that, then you won't get it till the next month or till you reach the threshold. In Patreon, you get whatever every month regardless. It looks like an interesting side road. Sarmizegetusa. The route, no, sorry, we didn't continue with it, because there have been a lot of map fixes since then, and so I'm afraid we'll just crash if we continue. And if I introduce the map fixes, then the job will reset, so we're screwed either way. So I think we will start a new route, a new long journey, when the maps have stabilized. HBO Max is HBO's new streaming service. Oh, nice. How much is it compared to Netflix and Disney Plus? And what exclusives do they have there? No, we're not looking at moderators at the moment, OM. Overclocking is always a tricky thing. Yes, thank you, Alex. Concise explanation right there. And Jace as well, exactly. The map does not really update that often, but when ProMods 2.46 released, they changed a couple of things, a couple of connections, so the other maps had to adjust. And so, because they don't get any like private release, they are getting the version the same time as we do, so the only time they can do the adjustments is after the ProMods release. So ProMods released, couple of bugs found, and then fixes were introduced. but we were driving in that middle zone when Pro mode's released, but before the fixes could be introduced. So yeah, I think we'll have to do that again after everything has stabilized. I think now I haven't seen many fixes since last week, so maybe it's a good time to start again. I am very much looking forward to Project Japan though, and I'm sure Alex is as well. Do you have any news on it, Jay? Before, Plum provided me with the early access for it, but I'm not sure if I think I'm not part of that cool kids club anymore. I did ask just a few before the stream if that is accessible to all promoters or only for some people. One guy replied, but it was in Japanese, and I was not able to translate it yet, so I'm not sure what he said. Hey, Penguin. Welcome, man. Oh, the amount of work this must have taken, huh? Each and every building, each and every sign, and all these little towns scattered across the map. Very nice. Three weeks now. Cool. Are you still sick? Till soon, man. Oh, is that a train? Derail Valley Hype. It's only a sneak peek. Oh yeah, that's a train, alright. There she goes. That looks so nice. But to merge, and I have been too busy enjoying the railroad. Pro mods. It was Pro mods, facts. Pro mods, Rust map, Southern region, RoX. Take far longer than your feeble calculation. So many slow towns. How far do we have to go? 212 kilometers. What did we start with? Do you guys remember? Oh, that is cool. I thought we would be done by now, but that's great. 1:5 map, huh? Amazing. Highways are at least 3 lanes wide. Some public buses do go on them. Oh yeah, that's true. I've ridden on some buses that go through the highways. I think it was bus number 5 going from... oh, where was it? I think from Sime all the way to Novena is the route, if I remember correctly. And it goes through one of the highways. I can't remember which one it is. You have this... what do you call it? This automatic toll thing. Because you don't have actual toll gates, right? You just have these markers up top. I don't even know if you have to slow down so that it gets you get recognized. Because I don't notice cars slowing down. That's pretty cool. ERP, yeah, that's the one. I will be doing it for sure, Scotsman, yes. I will try to finish it. But yeah, I'm just sad that we can't use any map mods there. Well, we can, but it will be very risky. So I won't be using any. No, we did not push through with EVRs. Drive safely, this is not EVRs anymore. This is trail fan. Yeah, I think they work. Those are yours, right? Maybe. I'm not so sure. Man, that sounds good, doesn't it? Only 42 kilometers long. Amazing. It works nice. Thank you. Thanks for confirming. And that sounds a lot better with the windows slightly open. CME to Novena should be the PIE Pan Island Expressway. Ah, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, it's like, I think it's in the northern part of the map, the country. More to the north. I remember in the olden days, not really olden days, few years ago, we would queue up in Winamki in Novena, one of the famous restaurants before. So famous that it actually got brought over to the Philippines, and it's a very fancy restaurant in the Philippines. And I was so surprised when I checked out the Winamki here in Singapore. It's more like a home cooking kind of thing, like no air conditioning, open area, much more authentic. Yeah, in the Philippines, it's more the fancy type. Using a wheel, G27. Hey, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Feel free to join us in chat. Yes, that's the one, hon. Minamki. That's very famous in the Philippines. I still enjoy eating there till now. I think they have a branch in Marina Square. I think it's the most convenient location. Oh, and they have a lot now. Yeah, they started expanding. There's one in Paya Lebar. It's much more accessible now. What is your favorite though? Would be interesting to get from a actual local's point of view. The best chicken rice for you. Chicken rice, guys, is a very famous Singaporean dish. It's hard to describe. Hud might do a better job of that than I do, but yeah, it's something that is better to really taste. Not much of a like gourmet look, but it tastes amazing. Yeah, I'm getting a bit of lag here in this area. I think it's all the trees. So many trees in this area. And also with files mod, the trees become more high res, so that's compounding. Taking a screenshot here, definitely. Well, you can just tell me if I should have access to it or not yet, and I should be okay with that already. So if I don't really supposedly should not have access to it, then that's fine. But if I should, then that's I should do something about it because I don't have it yet. Toenail 1, there you go. Yeah, it is very laggy. You know what? Let's try something. Let me save it. I'll try and remove files mod. Let's turn off the music here. That one. Turn off files mod, see if we still lag. Because I remember before in the early iterations of Files mod, it was very laggy. It was very nice looking, but it was very laggy. But since then, he has optimized it quite well. So I'm not sure if that's really the cause anymore. Yes, I have access to the file. Sorry, let me clarify. I saw in the closed beta, I saw the files there, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show it already. Because I was not approached by anyone, and I think that is for the closed beta testing. I'm not sure if they would be okay to show that outside. File, that's the one. Let's see. Hopefully the game does not reset. I don't think it does. Musta, say something Filipino. Ah! Thanks for joining and thanks for following. Appreciate it. Salamat. Awesome stuff, man. A fellow Filipino, finally. Yeah, we are a rare breed in my channel, unfortunately. Log it, job resumed. That's nice. Alright. Alright, there we go. Now we have normal trees. Now we have, I think, better performance, but then the cars are not in yet, the AI cars. So we'll see how that progresses. So far that looks smoother, right? Don't have a favorite, but you agree Winamki is one of the better ones. Nice. Alright, at least my taste buds are not that far off. Oh, I like this. Very tricky though, and someone's trying to overtake me? No. Why am I hearing a horse? Is that just me, or are we really hearing a horse? Have a good night, Moraz. Have a great weekend. Get well soon, man. Yeah, frame rates do seem better. Mang Inasal. Oh man, it's been so long since I've had Mang Inasal. No Mang Inasal here in SG, unfortunately, but they do have Maxis here. We haven't tried it though because Maxis here is super expensive. Maxis is one of the well-known restaurants, Philippine restaurants in the Philippines. Chicken as well. Fried chicken? Yeah, I think it's fried. Hey Joe, welcome back. Yeah, didn't reset thankfully. Changi City Point. Ah, yes, you're right. Yeah, that was one of the new ones because Mrs. Clumsy used to work in the Changi. That guy in the what do you call that area? The Changi area. The office is there. She used to work there, and so we would often eat at that Winamki branch. That actually used to be a different. It used to be like a Malaysian cuisine. Home cooking kind of deal. I forgot the local term for it. Yeah, oh, that's where the horse is coming from. The horse sounds. Yeah, I really like that one. Is that something Romanians do? Oh wow, what if he jumps off? Good evening, Joe. Glad you could join. Yeah, to be fair, I'm not really familiar with the West so much. I think I've only gone to the West a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. Spend most of my time in the East. We always say we want to explore more of Singapore, but for some reason we never tend to continue. Thanks, Jay. I'll just wait for it. No problem, no rush. I can wait for the public release as well. Just wanted to see if I was missing something. That's real. Oh, that is also one of the unique features of the map. If you haven't seen the video yet, pedestrians crossing in AI cars actually respecting the pedestrians crossing. You would think it's easy for a map maker to just put pedestrians crossing, and we've seen those before, but AI cars used to always just drive through them, which was not very realistic, or maybe realistic depending on which angle you look at it from. But now they actually stop, and I think this is one of Todor Alin's works, and then Alexandru, the map maker, implemented it in his map. Alert command. What should it be doing? What happens if a horse poops on the road? Yikes. In the Philippines, I live in Manila. Well, in Metro Manila, not in Manila itself. Well, there was a time I lived in Manila itself. How about you, Aero? Where do you live in the Philippines? Yeah, very nice touch. The pedestrian crossings blend very well with the tons of towns implemented in this map. Frame rates are a lot smoother now, and this view looks amazing. I must say, this hairpin compendium right here makes me actually miss driving in ATS. I still haven't driven through Urique, Alex. Have to do that one of these times. Maybe I'll record it, because the Team Reforma maps in ATS I'm really starting to miss. Scenic sights everywhere you go. Truck driver, is that the Xbox game? You live in Tanawan, Batangas. Ah, great. I think I've been there only a couple of times. How is it going there right now? You guys are entering GCQ soon, right? As of June 1st, is it? I am not really familiar though what changes in GCQ. GCQ, guys, is General Community Quarantine, because right now most of the Manila area, Metro Manila, is in ECQ or modified ECQ, Extended Community Quarantine, which is just a fancy way of saying lockdown. And each of those have varying levels of lockdown, what's allowed, what's not, and stuff like that. Hey, Pokemon! There we go. Long time no see. How are you? Pokemon is a fellow Filipino as well, so we are growing. He lives in Singapore right now. Alert command when called by the user will say going to alert now and won't reply, or something similar. Like user is going to be Clumsy and Rick's. Ah, I see. Some flavor text to say that you're going to lurk. Ah, could be nice. If we can think of a nice flavorful way of saying you're going to be lurking. Very windy roads. This source is still in front of us. You have no idea if you're ready. How is it going to be? You guys are really going out and going to classes physically, right? But with masks on. How does your mom feel about it? Sounds good, Jay. try to think of a nice flavor text there. If you have some ideas, let me know also. The horse is excited, I'll give it that. Seems to be enjoying the trip. He's the one riding on something for a change. Oh yes, that would be better. Let's put Jack in the mix. Jack will probably think of something hilarious too. Is that a Romanian company? Penny Market? Looks like a customly built one. Why did I not discover the city? Hey! Okay, let's loop around, guys. I do want to discover that city. Yeah, that's fine. It's not urgent. We can talk in Discord, so we can have some time to think. Ooh. I like that. What does it say? Inkoping? Isn't that in Sweden? And that bus. That looks like a custom bus. Maybe that's a classic Romanian bus. How did it get here? That lane. Maybe there is some historical significance to that. Plain roundabout. That's the one. The plane. Do you know if there's a background why that plane's there, Arias? Is that there in real life? Or does that hold some meaning for Romanians maybe? That is a classic Roman bus. Reminds me of that like OMSI-like bus simulator. Can't remember the name. Bus simulator, I think. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't tested that yet. They did update that and they reached out to me. I haven't had time to check it out yet. Petrosani is coal mining city workers. Ah, okay, I see. Coal mining city. Man, even this view, right? Even this view looks so natural. Just nothing fancy, just roads, trees, lights and everything, just everything placed in a very harmonious, realistic manner, except for the disappearing AI right there. But aside from that, yeah, it looks great. These little things. Have a good night, NL. Yeah, thanks again, Sky. Have a great weekend, man. Catch you soon. Also, maybe Arias, you can clarify this for me. When you go through a roundabout, when you're driving a truck, and you have to turn left like this, do I have to be on the left lane? If I'm a car, I do. But if I'm a truck, am I allowed to stay on the right lane? I've heard varying points of view there in the comments through the years. And I never knew which one is the proper one. The mountains around it has over 200 miles. Wow. As a trucker, you use the right one to avoid problems. It makes a lot of sense. It can be a bit skimpy if you're on the left lane and okay. If you're on the left lane and have to merge right, more prone to blind sides and stuff. Thanks, I'll follow that lead. Used to straddle both lanes. Yeah, as a car I would be on the left for sure. But I think with trucks there's a bit of leniency in there because you need more space to maneuver. If you use the left one, you hit the island with the trailer. Because yeah, the roundabouts aren't that large anyway to begin with. Maybe it depends per country as well, but I think staying on the right side is a safe and understandable behavior. Cars behind you will probably know that you might be looping more instead of turning at the nearest, the next exit. Oh, we also have H&M in Romania. Which country is H&M from anyway? This brand is so famous. Mrs. Clumsy loves it. Yeah, these kinds of roundabouts, you have no choice. There's only a single lane. Yikes. You can download this map, Liam, but it's payware, so you'll have to buy it. There should be a link in the mods list, ! mods, if you want more info on how that thing works. Want to use right lane for space, but want to block cars behind you from underneath. Yeah. Yes, so you stay in the middle. That's safer, actually. You always stay in the right lane, but that's just to avoid all the screaming. Makes a lot of sense. Sorry, guys. One more photo. Hey, Ross! Your cousin is from the Philippines and you're from the UK. You've been watching the channel for a while. Awesome, great to hear. Glad you made it to the stream. And you being in the UK, I know that's not easy. It's a very uncomfortable hour for you. So thanks for taking the effort. Appreciate that. Yeah, payware. Entering the land of payware. I know that will definitely alienate some people. And depending where you are in your stage in life, if you're a student, if you're working, if you're a retiree, that will matter greatly. That will vary greatly whether you are into payware or not. The older you get, the more open-minded you are about these things. Normally, of course, there are exceptions. But yeah, that has something to do with financial stuff, access to payment options, but sometimes also a matter of principle. Some people have all the means, but they just don't want to support payware behavior, and that's fine, that's understandable. I am on the other side of the spectrum though. Totally fine with payware now, as long as it's quality content and worth it. Actually bumped an old bloke on a bike while turning left at the roundabout. Yikes. Yeah, I think it's safer for everyone anyway, right? If you're a truck with a massive trailer like this on, you go through a small roundabout, even a roundabout with 2 lanes, you just take both of them, and everyone will know that they need to stay behind, so they won't try and overtake you. That's safer for everybody involved. That's a good point. Stuck right a little, thought you could sneak through. Yeah, sometimes you have to guide these guys and tell them no, don't even think about it. And staying in the middle is the best way to do that. This is 1:5 map. Romania 1:5 scale map by Alexandru, yes. Only payware you support is from the devs. Yeah, that's perfectly understandable. If you spend too much time in the trucking world though, you find that it's a bit limiting sometimes. sticking with freeware. So you start exploring the payware options as well, and that's where I'm at right now. Yeah, straddle both. If you go right lane, someone will try to overtake you. Makes a lot of sense. That is actually true even with AI cars, right? Not only in real life. It's very true in AI cars as well. If you take both lanes, they won't try and overtake you, and it will be safer for everybody involved. After the Jew Valley is your hometown. Awesome. What's the name, Arias? We'll stop there and find your house. We'll wave at each other and get coffee from like 2 meters apart. Social distancing. Bearing in mind the left at town roundabout is tight. True. Yeah. Now I completely understand you, Wax. Maybe the one making this map is also a poor student. Should they pay for work? That's a very good point. Yeah. Be a side hustle, right? This one. Way to make money while paying for school. It's a good way to support. But yeah, the power to the people. Your wallet has a power that you can support the guys. And how do you say, like, reinforce the making of more quality stuff by directly supporting them. Oh, I like this area. Hey, thanks for following. Appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Feel free to join us in chat. Drinking my bowl while you drinking yours. Yours is more legit, I can imagine. Hey Jorge, thanks for joining. Yeah, I'm using an LDM, Alex said. Not compatible with 1.37 at the moment, unfortunately. Not for those in the public beta. After the lockdown, you'd want to try Filipino food. Nice. Filipino food here, there are a couple of options. We tried one the other day. It was okay, not the best, but I'm not sure if that's because it was takeaway and not really eaten at the, like, not as fresh. But there is this, what do you call it, Don Lechon. That's what we tried. Hey, thanks for following, Jorge. Appreciate that. Mang Inasal. Is there Mang Inasal here? I haven't seen it. So there is the Don Lechon. There is also the Maxes, like Max MAX''S. That is Filipino. They do deliver as well. It's like a full-on restaurant pricing though. But yeah, might be a good way to try Filipino food. You sleep at strange times. I see, Ross. Welcome back. Oh, Wanachang City Point. I haven't seen that. Mount Inasal. Is that new? Because we spent a lot of time in CCP past few years because of Mrs. Clumsy's work. I don't recall it being there. No worries, Had. I'm pretty ignorant with other cuisines as well, so perfectly understandable. Like Indian food, I love Indian food, but I can never remember the names. It's just like that and that and that. And Mrs. Clumsy would be like, order the what does she call it? The paneer or something. The what do you call it? The green sauce with like the cottage cheese, panak paneer or something. I can never remember the name, but I only remember the butter chicken. That's my favorite, definitely. Lucky Plaza. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, haven't been there in a while. Beautiful. Just towns and towns all throughout. It's amazing. And suddenly turning AI vehicles. Looks legit. We just ordered some things off Amazon. They say that they're arriving by 10 p.m. Oh, maybe. Who has some experience with Amazon UK in here? Maybe you can let Liam know. Yes, I'm still using it, Ross. That clicking you hear is from the SKRS shifter. It's the same one that I still have, I featured in the video. The increased truck density in the AI traffic here in this map? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of trucks. Guess that is pretty true to life. Natural Lux weather. Love it. Overwhelming sometimes though. Autobahn in Germany. Yeah, but that is pretty realistic, I think. Ooh, level crossing in there. For our train fans here, can you educate me as to the pattern of the horns again? Like, well, how do the horn patterns, how should they be like when you're crossing, when you're passing through a level crossing, when you're starting, when you're stopping? I've been reading some comments over there, and I'm over in YouTube, and I'm learning a lot. Can't remember them all though. But one thing I did learn is if you've watched any of the derail videos, these track names, they like C5I, D50. Apparently, the letter at the end has some meaning. I is for inbound, O is for outbound, and S is for shunting. Very useful. So I know that when I'm taking a job, going out of the place, then I should look for an O. That's where all the outbound trains are. You mainly use 12-speed gearboxes, not 6-speed splitters. Yes, even with 12 speed it actually works quite well. You can see it in the overlay how it's working for me right now. This is with the ZF 12 speed shifter layout I'm using. That's 2, that's 3. I changed the range and now I'm at 4. And then I can split it as well for low, for high. So it works from 12 speed to 18 speed very well. SCS increased it in vanilla. I see. Well, yeah. Oh crap. Wrong way. My bad. Where am I? There. I was going to say something. I'm trying to remember. Last long. 2 long, 1 short, 1 long for a crossing. Am I nailing it? Horn Simulator. As an add-on to Truck Sim. Clip. Welcome back, Rowan. That was for you. Play DCS without a flight stick. Oh, I have never tried DCS. There's the clip. Alright, drive safely. Amazing stuff, man. Thank you for all the hard work. Looking forward to what you have in store for us. Have a nice weekend. Getting your truck license for your 21st birthday. Wow. That's a dream come true, literally. Amazing. Congrats, man. Well, you can join us in Discord and share some pics and stories. Once you do. Advance happy birthday. Is that near? You're 20 now. Going ahead with it. Ah, I see. Supposedly having your medical. Here we go with the AI trying to overtake, and I am in the left lane. This is going to spell disaster unless I block both lanes. There you go. That was perfect, just like your Australian accent. Oh my goodness. Now I'm having doubts. There you go. Wow. Rowan beat Alex. Getting slow in her old age. I like the very subtle gear shifting sounds. It's not getting cut off, that's the best thing about it. I think that comes as part of the engine sound mod by Trailfan. Your old man was a wagon driver, so I wanted to drive since you can remember. You hated it after a couple of years. It's all part of the experience. You wouldn't know until you tried it. So that was great. How do you give me my bits? Well, you can cheer. How do you guys cheer again? Of course, I suck at Twitch stuff. There should be some way to cheer if you have some bits. That will pass them on to me, and I will take care of them. Where do you get the bits from? Is that from watching the ads? Oh yeah, that was what I was remembering with what HUD was saying. The trucks, increased truck density. Might be very real because in my very limited time when I was in Germany, I saw tons of trucks. Lots of tandem setups as well over in the Autobahn. And it was it a weekend? No, it was daytime, definitely. I think it was the weekend. Maybe that's why they were allowed on the roads. I'm not so sure about the rules. But yeah, it was so fulfilling to see those trucks in real life. It's like, oh, so they really do exist. Massive tandem setup trucks, BDFs, as some people would call them. Man, they do sure love their roundabouts here, huh? Yeah, I was in Germany just very short, like 1 week, 2 weeks, from time to time because of work. I haven't driven though. I'm not sure if my license is allowed there. I think I need to have it translated or something. But I took a cab from the airport to the hotel, and we passed through some Autobahn, and it was as we see here, with including all the trucks that you can imagine, the different companies and designs and whatnot. Very cool. That's the one, yeah. Restriction. I think you're right, because even in our system, like in my full-time work, we maintain a system for a supply chain, one of the companies. And yeah, they have these lanes, these transportation lanes from one plant to another, from one distribution center to another, and we can set up like, is it a 24 by 7, and some of them have like 24 by 6 or 24 by 5, so the trucks aren't allowed on the weekends on the road, something like that. But I'm not sure which is which. Always wanted to drive trucks. Alright, great to hear, Ross. I'll see you there after the stream. Thanks for joining. Remember going out with your dad to Yugoslavia. Love the whole life. Yeah, the falling out with your dad, he said he'd never be able to. Then, so a couple days later, you booked in and that was it. Ah, wow. That's a nice story. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. Yeah, you like the driving itself, the truck driving itself, but not the surrounding people. I think it's a very common story, regardless of which industry you choose. You rarely see any Ivecos and DAFs in Singapore. Well, that's very true. Yeah, same here. Oh, but you saw one yesterday. Wow. Well, that guy deserves a Crafeco emote. If Eco awesomeness has to be rationed, not so sure you would call it awesomeness, but okay, let's go with that. If Ecos are slightly more common, I have to be lucky to find a DAF. You saw a new P series, like a next gen P? Wow, haven't seen any next gen yet here. I can imagine, Max. Still mostly Japanese trucks. Yeah, that's the most common ones I see. What is that thing with the like the H with the bent, like H like that, like this, but with a horizontal line in the middle? It's a very common brand here. Hino, I think that was, yes. Is that Japanese? With the bend, that's the description. I think there was a mod in Truck Sim of a Hino, if I remember correctly. Didn't get to try it though. Hino is owned by Toyota. Ah, cool. Didn't know that either. Like we are entering dangerous territory. Yeah, that's true. Fancy trucks will be a waste here. Not much ground to cover. Would be cool though. Cool for us truck spotters at least. Not for the owners. Volvo FMXs. I think I've seen a couple of those as well. I see a lot of MANs here. MAN TGS, I think in particular. Far too much to drink. 3 a.m. goodness. Have a good night, man. Have a great weekend. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for the insights. Fuel wise, we're still good. Thanks, Wax. I'll catch you there. Glad to see more people joining the Discord server. Let's make it a lively, happy, cheerful place. MANs are pretty common. Nice. Yeah, MANs are everywhere. Oh yeah, especially in the buses. In the buses, I see mostly Scania, Volvo, Mercedes, and MAN. Yeah. What are the new ones that they are very proud of? The hybrid ones? Are those? I forgot the brand. Is that a Volvo? That's good. You can still watch. Let's take a photo here. Very nice bridge looking thing. Well, very nice bridge period. SBS transit buses are mostly Mercs and Scanias for the single deck, Volvo for the double deck. Right. And nowadays, I'm not sure what company that is. I'm starting to see the double deck Volvo ones. No. Double deck MAN ones, I should say. The MAN Lions City, but double decker. And Mrs. Clumsy would always laugh at me when I would enjoy watching and looking at those buses. When we were in Warsaw before, I think I shared that photo. Was it that one? But she was so weirded out with me because I was taking a photo of a Scania, a small Scania truck, a small Scania dump truck. And you can imagine a tourist taking a photo of a dump truck. It doesn't really make much sense. But it was a European truck and I don't see that often. So why not? Have a good night, Wax. Catch you on Discord. BYD. Oh, I see. Haven't heard of that brand before. Chinese company, I see. 50 Volvo B5LHs. What is that? Sounds fancy. Recently acquired a hybrid MB Citaro. Electric Yutong DD and BYD. Yeah, the Yutong and BYD I'm not familiar with. 80 kilometers to go. Nice. We're getting there. Who knew it would take this long, huh? Cool. Wow. You guys sure know a lot about these. Hey, thanks for following. Feel free to join us in chat. You can join the nerdy group. We sure are nerds, huh? Nerds and proud of it. That's the stuff. Go Ahead actually trialed the BYD K9 a few years ago. Oh, did they? And we are talking about Singapore buses and companies here, guys. But yeah, feel free to chime in and share what you have in your own country. You guys might have more in common than you think. Cool. It's a hybrid Volvo, the 5L engine. Ooh, I think I've ridden one of those. Yeah, very cool. Even the interior is nicely done. Very high-tech feel. Yeah, other countries have quite interesting buses as well. US probably not though. I don't think buses are so much a thing in there, huh? It's every car for himself, more like. Every Honda for himself, Rohan. Rode it on 59 all the way from Bishan a while back. Handled expressway well. Oh, cool. Yeah, bus 59. I'm familiar with that route. Yeah, the electric lines. That's very cool. I saw that in Switzerland. Wanted to follow one all throughout its route. It's like a tram, but no, it's a bus. But no, it's a bus. Bus tram. Yeah. Yeah, you can put it in Truck Sim. You might not be able to upload a pic directly though. That feature is reserved for subs, but you can upload it to an imaging site like Imager and then share the link in there. Sorry for the hassle. Yeah, one of the subscriber perks. Did someone say Honda? Oh yeah, there you go. The 10th gen Civics do not have VTEC. Oh, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Would have thought that was a bad thing, but maybe they replaced it with something else. And it's raining again. Fine. Used to have trams, really? Oh. It looks messy, yeah, with all the power lines above. It can, but there is a certain appeal to it, that's true. Is it even a Civic if it doesn't have VTEC? Good question. There you go. 6th gen VTEC. I'm not even sure what gen our Civic was before. 1st gen, maybe not that old. Trams back in the 80s, wow. You even know your history. Transportation history, cool. Because it was messy. I see. Yeah, I wonder how trams work in comparison with buses in terms of efficiency, because you would have to put all that groundwork, all that infrastructure, right? All those electric poles, all the tram lines, the rails, and so you would be be very, how do you say, inflexible with the routes unless you put tram lines everywhere, which is not practical. So it sounds very expensive. So it must be very much like in terms of ongoing costs, it must be very efficient compared to buses. Otherwise, why would you go through all the hassle? It's an SI. What year was it from? Maybe I'll be able to relate. Have I ever been mistaken for Malay or Chinese? Malay, yes, I think. Chinese, no. I have been mistaken to be Thai though. I think I'm closer to Thai appearance than Chinese. That might have been my Civic as well, 6th gen. I've been mistaken for Malay before. Yeah, we do look pretty close. Pretty like. Change exhaust and whatnot. Made it more booming. Everything is bone stock. 123 km and it's been within your family for 15 years. Wow. Oh yeah, exactly. 98 Civic. Cool. Yeah, mine was a 99 Civic. Sold it quite a long time ago though. And mine was a sedan. How did I respond? I think I said something along the lines of sorry, English only. And then they understood that I was not what they were assuming I was. And sometimes they would even add, oh, you look like a Thai or something. That's why they spoke to you in such a way. Awesome. Thanks, Wax. I'll check it out after. You've had a few Civics. He bought it in 2005 and you bought it from him. Nice. It is an amazing car. How much mileage do you have in there in total? I not language. Very evident. You have a car in the family for over 60 years. How much mileage does that have? What, that traveled to the moon or something? Wow. Does it have horses in front? A Model T Ford. It's over 100 years old. Wow. 123 to 124 km. Nice. It's not that bad, huh? For 15 years? It's not bad mileage. My brother-in-law, I think, has that much mileage in his car already. And his is... Actually, maybe it's also the same number of years. Can't remember. Maybe that does make sense. A Model D. I don't even know what that looks like. If you can figure it out. What, do you have to like feed it coal? Build up steam or something? Steam engine for the win. And Alex built that himself. Yikes. Got to buy your missus a new Peugeot 208 first. I think I know how that looks. Very sleek and modern looking car. 3 pedals on the floor. Not one is a gas pedal or a clutch pedal. What? Can you play the piano with it maybe? Doesn't the piano have those 3 pedals? I never knew what they were for. For prolonging the... I don't know. Prolonging the tone or something. It will be her first car. Not a nice one. Experimental. They were showing how to drive it. What is that for really? 3 pedals. You turn with the pedals. Oh, you didn't tell me the what do you call it? Model T had rudder pedals in there built in. Behaves like a plane. Does it have auto throttle as well? Type R. Brake, reverse, and the pedal for low and high gear. So you step on the pedal for the low gear, and once you're building up speed, you switch pedals to the high gear. Wow. Sounds very weird. You've had a few. Throttle is on the steering column, below the steering wheel, a lever. It is indeed a throttle. Wow. Okay. It's like a splitter but with pedals. So you step on the low gear pedal. When you want to shift to the high gear pedal, you do the normal clutching, and then you switch to the high gear pedal. How user friendly it was. Well, I can imagine at that point they were happy enough to have a car. It can go 40 miles if you're brave enough. That reminds me of a story my dad used to tell us all the time. They used to drive this Jeep. It's like, I don't know, homemade Jeep or something. It was not very good. It encountered all the car problems you can imagine. And they would have to like pray every time you wanted to start it because it would not work properly half the time. And they said once you reach around 40 kilometers per hour, this is 40 kilometers, not 40 miles, 40 kilometers per hour, the entire dash would start shaking. And it would feel like the entire thing would disassemble, like one of those cartoons where everything just falls off. So they would be on a highway at close to 40 kilometers per hour and everything would be shaking. Just wish that everything holds intact for the next couple of minutes. Awesome. Wonderful piece of technology right there. He learned a lot with working with cars because of that though. Might have to carry a Bible with you. Left pedal all the way down is low gear. Released all the way up is high gear. Wow. Hold pedal left halfway for neutral. And push middle pedal down for reverse. Oh my goodness. So it didn't have a stick shift. That was your stick shift basically in the form of pedals. That sounds so weird. What do you use for fuel? Coal. Many people learn to drive in a Model T. Wow. Yeah, how do you even drive that? Just gasoline. That's so cool. Do you still drive it? Is it like roadworthy? Let's go and get the blurriness away. Oh, thank you. Getting lucky in here. Intersections is always tricky. That's like a top. Fun to drive. Oh, that's cool. This feels like really entering a city now. With all the happenings. All the different buildings and signs you can see. And people crossing as well. I like it. Unique assets and prefabs. I would say yes. I've seen a couple of different ones. Not sure about the actual models, but definitely the signs. Ooh. Was that a fighter jet of some sort? Seemed like it, huh? Nice twist. Lots of crossing areas as well, no pedestrians though. Puerto Princesa vibes. Oh, yeah, you're right. Like how the road looks. Yeah. How about Los Baños? Laguna. Maybe a bit too modern for it. A 100 kilometers per hour here? Oh, now it's down to 70, okay. There was a sign there, not sure what it said, but I think it said slow down. Rural Ho Chi Minh. I remember Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam. I think the first time we went to Ho Chi Minh, yeah, we didn't know that they celebrated Lunar New Year. So Chinese New Year is always a big thing in Singapore, right? Lots of holidays, lots of people go on vacation. So we did the same, and we booked for a flight. And then once we were looking for like things to do, it's like, why is this closed? Why is this closed? And apparently, yeah, they celebrate Lunar New Year, so everyone went home to their families, and there were very select establishments open. But we still were able to enjoy. Still lots of open places, and we were still able to go on tours and stuff. Some tour agencies were still open, but there were not as many people in the city. So actually, we didn't get to experience that, like that thing you see with all the people in their motorcycles filling the roads, literally filling the roads. We didn't see it that much, which is, I guess, fortunate. The speed limit sign is so weird. 70, 50, 70, 50. Why would you do that? Why would you go to 70 and 50 a few meters after? That might be a consequence of the scaling. Maybe when it is 1:1, that 70 to 50 would make sense. It's 70 all throughout, but 50 in pedestrian crossings. But because it's a 1:5 scale, the signs are cramped together. So 50 and 70 a few steps away from each other. And it doesn't make sense anymore. That might need to be adjusted. Those limits are real. People are idiots. Really. They're not more spaced apart. My goodness. Sorry, that got auto-modded. If someone can access that, I'm not sure. Rohan and Alex, if you have access to your thing. There you go, thank you. Yes. I'm definitely part of that group HUD. We use that for holidays. Because Singapore is one of the most, how do you say, one of the countries with the least number of holidays compared to other countries. So every long holiday we can get, we try to maximize. Over here, finally in Craiova. Absolutely love this view. This entire city feel, city vibes. Hey Ninja Squirrel. Welcome back, man. How have you been? Finally have arrived. Not yet Craiova, isn't it? Oh. But we are delivering in Craiova, but maybe it's over there, right on the outskirts. Is this one? Did we pass your town, Arias? Did I just miss your town? So, crap. This is Isalnita, an outskirt. Ah, I see. In all those arrows. Maybe you missed the first one. Maybe you missed the second one. Third time's the charm. Hopefully you'll see that you need to stay on the right side. Why am I... That's my engine dying. I passed it. Dang it. Sorry about that. Let me look at the map where it is. Let me squeeze myself in bit by bit first though. So those signs aren't true. You'd love to skip all the visiting too. Yes, very much so. Our thing like that is Christmas, or like, but that one I enjoy because I get to recharge for a year. And then come Christmas, we have all the social gatherings, so I only do it once a year, so it's not that bad. I can recharge my introvertedness. My social bar, social tolerance for a year before I have to use it up. Bad. Signs are stolen by gypsies for scrap metal. If you place 3, maybe 1 will escape. Makes perfect sense. more chances of winning. I love how these things take shape, the practical side of things. Like, if you just look at it, it won't have any meaning. But when you get the background, that does make sense. I remember in the Philippines, we have that quite a lot as well. Not the multiple signs, but actually like benches nailed to the ground, things like that. Because otherwise people would steal the benches and sell the metal for scrap. Something along those lines. So all these things tend to be nailed and locked in place. Job submitted. Oh, I love this overlay. Very nice. I like this update to VT log. 337 kilometers. Took us, 2 hours? Wow. All the CNY gatherings are just her sitting off to the side using her phone. Don't talk about anything but grades and how she's grown. Oh yeah, I can imagine. Once you grow up more though, maybe you'll tend to appreciate it better. But yeah, at this stage, it's not fun. Yeah, light protectors from highways. I can imagine that one. Alright, that is great stuff. Oh, we can still go further in. Okay, let's do that. Let's go and explore. Yes. That is, I think, a common question regardless of which country. Maybe it's I don't know if it's an Asian thing. Guys from Europe, guys from US, let us know how it works. In these family reunions, so for US, like, I don't know, Thanksgiving would be the best, maybe, and Christmas. Or some other holidays. How does it work with you guys? Like, when you go into gatherings, what do your relatives ask you? When are you getting a girlfriend? When are you getting married? When are you getting a son or a daughter? If you have a son or a daughter already, when are you getting another one? These are the things that they ask oftentimes. It's like this constant pressure. Or if you've grown bigger, you've grown bigger, you've grown fat. I'm not sure if it's an Asian thing, a Filipino thing, or a global thing. My goodness. Craiova does like its long distances. Yeah, we'll just drive around a bit. For any social gathering. I think so. It'd be interesting to hear that from other countries' point of view. You mean you found someone to date you? Yikes. Oh, that's brutal. Go explore that and explore that. You get the same. Good to know we're not alone. If only you could find someone to date you. Hey, soggy monster. Stock G27 is only what I have. I'm not savvy enough to do all those hardware changes. I think Alex is getting into that though. He might have more inputs for you. That's what you hear. Yeah, that was surprising to me. Even the locals don't like learning about Mandarin. But actually, maybe it's not so surprising because some schools in the Philippines, especially those with Chinese heritage, they get their kids into Chinese schools. And there they learn Mandarin also. And I am half Chinese. So my mother's side, almost all of my relatives on my mother's side, they know how to speak Chinese. Not Mandarin, but Hokkien. Come on. Okay, nothing happened. Nice. At least the job's done already. No more penalty, aside from pride getting hurt. But yeah, every one of my cousins know how to speak Chinese except for us on the mother's side. Here we go with the 70-50 again. I love it. My goodness, I cannot believe it. How that works. And so many signs in there. Mandarin is a foreign language to you, since you mostly originally were Hokkien speakers as well. Ah, okay. So it's the same. Yeah, in the Philippines, Hokkien is more rampant. Like it's the... If you were a Filipino Chinese, then you're mostly speaking Hokkien. Mandarin is something you learn formally in school, but not really something you use in day-to-day life. Yes, back to our roots. Exactly. Alright, Sky. Thanks again for the sub, man. The sub shower. That was an ultimate surprise. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one. Have a great weekend and catch you next time. A bus full of seniors. Blame its driver. And why did he not discover that question mark when he passed through it? Mandarin and Cantonese is very different. Very different sounding. I can distinguish which is which if it's Hokkien, Mandarin or Cantonese, but I cannot understand a word. I just know that it sounds different. British English to American English. I thought it would even be more different than that. But I wouldn't know because I don't know the words anyway. Yeah, I always wondered about it. Like, there was a time when I was so enthralled with Chinese movies. We would have cable, and there is this Star Movies channel, and there would be this Star Mandarin. So Star Movies, but all Chinese movies and all Mandarin. And then I would look at their mouths, and they are Chinese, but it's like it's dubbed. And I would like, why would it be dubbed if it's in Mandarin in the first place? And then I figured out later on the original language was Cantonese of those movies, and it was just dubbed into Mandarin. So Chinese to Chinese conversion is what's happening. Hey Chris, this is a different map. Romania 1:5. It's a standalone map, payware map. We've been traveling for 2 hours. I've only been able to travel like 200-300 kilometers. Welcome to the stream. Mandarin to Singaporeans is like Malay to people from Manila. Languages are related but completely different. Ah, yes, that one I can understand. Agree. Japanese linguistics, wow, that's cool. No wonder you have a Honda. So you know how to speak, write, communicate in Japanese. Have you been to Japan? Government has been trying to exterminate dialects. Which government? The Chinese government? So the Taiwan dramas originally Hokkien are dubbed into Mandarin, and the same with Hong Kong Cantonese shows. Yeah, I think most of the ones I watch are Hong Kong shows. Like I remember this is one of my favorite movies. You guys might know it. Shaolin Soccer, I think it was. Stephen Chow, comedy kind of thing, but very nicely done. Back in the day, it was super cool, and I think it was Cantonese originally, but I think I watched it in Mandarin in that channel. So when I heard the actual thing, I was like, it sounds weird. Speaking is no problem, but reading is a mess. Oh, I see. Wow. Even that is hard, huh? I see. Yeah, I wanted to learn Japanese before, for the main reason that there was a time during the PlayStation 1 days, there were lots of games in the Philippines that were coming directly from Japan, I think. So they were Japanese, and I couldn't understand them, but when I was trying to just go via context clues, I was really enjoying the game. So I wanted to learn Japanese just so I can play properly. Ooh, is there an airport here? There is, I see a tower. Romanian is like the oddball among the Romance languages. Oh, oddball in what way? Interesting choice of words. Ouch. You can understand Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese, but not Romanian. One sec. So if you know French, you can understand a little bit of Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. Are they even alike? Like Spanish and Portuguese, I guess, have some similarities, but they sound very different as well, right? You watched that many times? Yeah, I love that movie. I think that's also available in Netflix. Chinese Singaporean government both think that Mandarin is Chinese and everything else is dialect of Chinese, which is linguistically just wrong. Yeah. That issue with dialects, that controversy about dialects, that is true, I think, in whichever country you go. Because like in the Philippines, we have a lot of dialects, but that is also contested. It's not a dialect, it's an actual language, things like that. And I'm not an expert enough to weigh on these things, but all I know is it's different. I can't understand it. I can't not understand those different languages / dialects. And so to me, it doesn't matter if it's a dialect or a language. It's not something I understand, period. Romanian has a lot of Slavic vocabulary, probably thanks to the geography as well, being so far in the east. That was really well done. You see a plane approaching, a bit sharp, a bit steep, coming in hot, but at that point of the actual touchdown, it gets hidden by the buildings, which is a very nice touch, because if they showed it, I can imagine it would not look so realistic. You wouldn't be able to mimic a proper touchdown here in the map, in this game, I think. So it's a nice, optical illusion to a point, hiding that part there to avoid the unrealistic side effect. Cebuano is a dialect of Tagalog, yeah, exactly. Mixed our language with Russian just because we don't want French to understand. It was by design. That's the one. That makes all the sense now. Slavic is stuff like Russian, Bulgarian, Ukrainian, Polish, Czech. And yes, they are all in the same region, right? In that eastern area, more to the east. Japanese kanji. Some characters have a lot of ways to read them. In these kanji, these are like each kanji, each character would have a meaning, right? And if I remember correctly, they mean the same thing in Japanese and in Chinese. They're just read differently, but they mean the same thing. Is that correct? A correct statement? So I read something along those lines, but I've never been able to confirm it. Maybe it was just a rumor. Maybe it was just a rumor then. That's not true. Oh, for some. Okay, so just some overlaps. You have more Turkish words than Slavic ones. Well, yeah, I guess the geography would have something to play in that again, huh? Makes sense. You are from Bulgaria. Wow. Oh, I didn't know. Cool. So Bulgarian is mainly Slavic as well. Ottoman Empire. Sounds very historical. I'm very bad at history. I know that's something in like, what, civilization. Overlaps, yes. Some kanjis are used only for their phonetic value. Ah, I see. Doesn't help reading. And what is the difference between, what is this? Hiragana and, was it katakana? Oh, I can't remember. Like you use one for a different purpose, I think. I've never learned that far into it. I think I only heard about it from my mom, because my mom lived for a year in Japan, so she picked up a few words here and there. Turkish Empire. You learn Japanese too. Oh, Japanese kanji is even worse. I was always having a hard time with Chinese because of the, how do you say it? It's based on the tone, right? Depending on your tone, it would mean different thing. And for me, it would be like singing, because I'm very bad at singing. I cannot reach for the right tone. I don't think I can replicate the right tone for the right meaning. Tone deaf, maybe. There you go. Hiragana and katakana are used in different contexts. Used for foreign words, or in some cases to emphasize. So it's like syllables based to form the foreign words. Hiragana is used for like verb endings in native Japanese words with no kanji. You guys know a lot of stuff in these languages. Cool. Balkan Loco. Our steam train. It's a sign, guys. Time to get into Derail Valley. Oh my goodness. Have a good night, Scotsman. Speaking of Derail Valley, I'm not yet sure if next week we'll be streaming more SnowRunner or we'll switch to Derail Valley. I might do a poll in the Discord server and let you guys decide. So if you want to chime in, join the Discord server and wait for that poll. Tones are the main reason why 50% of what you speak is misunderstood by people. I have so much difficulty with the tone. I don't understand it at all. And when my mom used to try and teach us some of these Chinese words, it would always sound wrong, and I think it would always mean a different thing because we didn't understand what's the difference. Like, it's the same word, but apparently it's not. Thanks, Alex. See you there indeed, as Nightbot says. Whoa! Beautiful. That building was placed perfectly, right at the touchdown zone to hide the imperfections. A lot of Singaporeans know how to speak Mandarin though, don't you? Like, what? Is it more than half of the population? Mostly older people. Yeah, I think there is a shift happening now to English. same in the Philippines. Less people are speaking in Tagalog and more in English. Wow, that entire trip and it didn't even have to refuel. That's thanks to scaling. Hey, can we do a job? Is there a short one? So we still have a bit of time. Otherwise, we just go and go sightseeing. Alright. It's pretty far away. Mel, maybe we can jump into... Oh yeah, where was Araya's place? Is it Targoju? Sorry, I can't remember the names. They're so alien to me, it's hard for me to remember the combination of letters. That might work. But that's, I think, the trip that we... Yeah, that's the same route that we took. You can take a different one. In Simeria, moving west maybe. Or in Arad, where we stopped in the YouTube video. Make our way east. I remember really enjoying this area. You can try that. We probably won't finish it though. At least we can see. Targoju is where you... Ah, okay. And there's a north and south, looks like, huh? Is that a large city where you live? So we go somewhere... I really like this one. This reminds me of that junction in ATS with the 4 gas stations on each of the corners. It's just that because this is European, you have a roundabout, of course. Very nice. I guess it's this one. I think that's our trailer. Around 70% of you can speak. Whether you actually do is a different matter. Understand. Job started. That overlay is gold. So you can stop doubting if your job is going to get logged at all. Yikes, that's far away. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. There we go. Coupling by force. I haven't seen this trailer much. I like it. It's like a container corner. Not really a container, but it sure has a lot of those grooves in there. It's nice to sit in a Volvo Classic again. It's been a while. This one I find a bit strange. The line... Yeah, a penalty I think. The line is until there, but the traffic light is way back here. Bit weird. We live quite near an MAN factory. Oh, nice. Do you see a lot of them come out? Get assembled. Oh, oh, that's bumpy. Entire parking lot with TGXs. Wow. A real truck fan's dream. Now we start with the potholes. Ooh, that was a close call. Those curbs were pretty aggressive looking. I think they were very forgiving if you smash across them. Tell me it's going to rain again. The bumpy road physics. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about it. Someone was commenting about that, to change the cab suspension. I think what I need to do is enable Momo's Air Ride A3, but I forgot to do that here. Because right now we do have suspension stiffness, cabin suspension stiffness. Yeah, this is not stiff at all, so it should be as bouncy as possible, right? I think so. An alternative weather mode to use until NL gets compatible. No, I was looking at realistic weather mode a couple of days ago, or was it weeks? But it was not yet fully compatible with 1.37, I think, so I haven't really tried it out. Have you gotten in touch with Kirill? Has he posted any message? Or he's probably busy IRL, huh? Level crossing. Ooh! Go for a bit of train spotting. Turn off the engine. Did you get it? You said it, Hud. Sometimes I wish for it too. It's the same problem with me. I'm sweating right now. What on earth was that? That was realistic train horns. Did you see it? Exclamation point mods to download. Organic train horn sounds. Time machines. True Balkan area train. Oh wow. Time machines. Yeah, I hope it doesn't come to the point where you have to choose a different graphics mode. Yes, that's what I'm afraid of as well. At this point, because we haven't really heard anything official from Kirill. We're not sure if he's planning on... I'm not sure if he's planning on... Ooh, a tram. Nice touch. Did anyone answer me on that? Like the efficiency of tram versus bus? I might have missed it. Yeah, I'm not sure if NL will continue. I hope it does. Hope Kirill will come back, but he may be busy in real life for now. Eat him again. Because it was a troll exclamation point mods. So Alex knew not to trigger it. Do not want to use JPX. How about RGM? RGM looked promising. Some very old. Joke about how when it rains and then it stops and continues to rain inside. Oh my goodness. Now that's immersion for you. Don't even have to open the window to hear and experience the rain. How realistic is that? No pollution, no repetitive fixes. Simple electric motor. Low cost for electricity. So the ongoing cost is much cheaper, even if you have to lay the groundwork initially. Makes sense. It looks cool as heck too. For transportation fans like us at least. It's okay, not up to par with NL. Yeah, it's hard to measure anything against NL. How are we in terms of fuel economy? Guess not so good. 37. Did our job from the previous one log in Discord? I wonder if it shows the same number. Yeah, same here, Rohan. It's hard to go back to something else once you've tasted how NL improves things. So I really hope that Kirill comes back. It's hilarious. Train is too slow. Parents live about 220 kilometers away. You go with a car in 2.5 hours. Train takes 4 hours for 220. Wow! Not a real time saver, huh? 39, ouch. Well, let's blame all these towns. I can't really go fast in them. Even the lampposts are customized. It's like a combined light post with an electric line in there. A hybrid. Interesting. 5 hours away by car but 10 by train. Weren't they planning to make a high-speed train from Malaysia to Singapore? I know there was a bit of controversy there and I was not sure what happened in the end. What they decided. Hey, Bay. Bailey, thanks for following. I see that you followed, but somehow Streamlabs wasn't able to capture it. Thank goodness I have two different activity feeds now. One officially from Twitch and one from Streamlabs. That fell through. It's too bad. Would have been our chance at getting a proper train experience. Something that the Europeans have a lot of. When in my first time in Europe, I was so much in awe of the trains. Me and Mrs. Clumsy would love to just go around to different countries using trains, even if it was not the most time efficient thing, because it was just a rare experience for us. Malaysia delayed the thing a lot. Yeah, with the virus it's even more difficult. Ooh, is that custom? Wow. Wonder who did that. Good job. Yikes. Am I going to slow down soon? No, it's okay. Okay. Oh, I love this view. The neighborhood overlooking like this. Beautiful. It's nice to see maps like this. Full attention to detail, and the scale is really helping a lot. You could put more details in. Build high-speed rail from west to the east. Quite troublesome to get to the airport from here. Yeah, if you go to like the green line, take you what, 2 hours? With all the stops? Alright, Pokemon, have a good one. Glad you could join us today. Stay safe, and good luck with school next week. train won't even have time to accelerate to top speed before it reaches the end. That's very true. Yeah, I think at this point it would be a nice to have, but not really critical. The public transportation system here is such an amazing thing though. You can get anywhere just by public transport. Sometimes it's a bit long-winded, not the most direct path, but really cool that you can get anywhere. Was I speeding? Nah, not really. Good. Live on the western end of the green line. Takes an hour and a half. Yeah, 2 hours is actually a very good thing already. And for me, I would always try to be at the airport 2 hours before the flight. And nowadays though, I'm a bit more of a risk taker that I only leave the house 2 hours before the flight, and I get there like 30 minutes or so. But if I had the choice, I would still be there 2 hours if I can make it happen, because I'm that type of guy who likes to be early. I get too stressed when I am even at slight risk of being late. And that's because in the Philippines, it is a completely different ball game. Ooh, look at that train. Is that the same old school one that you were referring to? Oh, we can race it. Race. Oh, this train has nothing on us. Oh, this is cool. And another train. Oh, I love this route. It's so nice. So in the Philippines, the rule is you have to arrive 3 hours before your flight. Otherwise, you risk not making it in time at the boarding gate because of all the delays and all the queues. But on top of that, you have to leave your house, depending on where you are, maybe 2 hours before because of the traffic. So all in all, it would take you like 5 to 6 hours before the flight that you have to leave your house. And even then, we've heard stories where people who leave 6 hours before their flight still were late to their flight because of the traffic on the road. So here in SG, where I just need to be here 2 hours and that's more than enough allowance, I have no complaints at all. Coming from the original picture that I got used to. So yeah, not a bad trade for me. Hey Ronald, thanks for joining. Race it. We actually did. Cargo and passenger train on the same tracks. That will not be good for the passenger train in terms of speed, huh? Awesome, man. Thank you. Thanks for following. Appreciate that, Ronald. I know, right? Yeah, that's a very common thing. Ooh, look at that train. Looks like one of those... of course, I wouldn't know what it is. Russian trains? Probably not. Yeah, we often say that because of the terrible traffic in Manila. Why am I in neutral? I am in the wrong gear. Non-existent gear where I'm placing it. They often say you could go to Singapore and back with the time it takes to get stuck in traffic. That's why this pandemic is actually, for some people, a blessing in disguise, because it forces them to work from home, and then they realize, wait a minute, We don't really need to go to the office that often. We don't need to brave through that terrible traffic every day. And so the companies are starting to realize. And my hope is that after everything goes back to the way it was, or after this pandemic is over, the companies would still realize that and continue this work from home policy. Not always, maybe, but occasional work from home, which would effectively lessen the number of cars on the road. And so we wouldn't have that much of a terrible problem. Romanian train. Train cars and trams factory selling in all Europe. Nice. It's 11 already. Thanks, Jay. Oh, that would have been the perfect spot to stop, but it's okay. Let's look for the next rest area and I'll stop there. Yeah, I know, right? This one looks so good. This is from a mod. This mod changes the entire interior of the Volvo FH Classic. It's available in the Steam Workshop. And I just found it while I was browsing. I was like, wow, that's perfect. It looks so good. So well done. It's in the mods list. Thanks, Alex. See? When the mods list is needed, Alex is right on the job. Can't beat that, Ruan. Try as we might. Yeah. Slowly but surely, we are improving the public transportation system. Right now, I think what's becoming more and more famous in the Philippines are the point-to-point buses. So to help lessen the number of cars on the road and without needing a massive investment in infrastructure, so like building rails and destroying buildings, remodeling roads, they are introducing private companies are starting to pop up with buses, simply buses that go from point to point, don't have a lot of stops. Oh, and this is something, in the Philippines, there is no such thing as a bus stop. The bus stop is wherever the passenger is. So you will just put your hand out on the road, wherever you are, the bus would stop in front of you. So you can imagine how many bus stops there would be. The bus stops will grow exponentially. But yeah, that's so when I first went to Singapore and I got acquainted with how a real bus stop behaves, it's like, wow, this actually is pretty cool. Now, that is convenient for the passenger because you wouldn't have to walk anymore, right? You just put your hand out, bus would stop in front of you. Everyone is a VIP. The problem is, when everyone is a VIP, no one is a VIP because everyone else would suffer when everyone else would have their position stopped at by the buses. Good for maintaining a bus schedule. Yeah, you know, right? Interior as well. The GPS add-on I don't use because it is not working in all maps, especially when you have a map mod, a standalone map. The Google Maps navigation can be a bit tricky to make work. You'll have to have a lot of compatibility mods, and even with that, sometimes it doesn't work as intended. So I just don't mess with it if I'm working with a non-mainstream map. Okay, let's go and stop here. This is good place as any to end the stream. Yes, it definitely does add a lot of traffic and a lot of road hazards, because depending on how decent the driver is, you can imagine humongous buses, full-size buses, swerving to the right immediately because they found the passenger and they want to get the customer. And because the bus drivers, at least this was the case before, the bus drivers were paid based on commission. The more passengers there are, the more they get paid. So they are motivated to get as many passengers as they can. And the problem with that is they are very aggressive when it comes to passenger business. So they tend to do those sharp turns and do all the crazy maneuvers just to get the passenger. Not very healthy for traffic as a whole. So there was an initiative before to change that scheme into like salaried employees so they don't behave as aggressively on the road. I'm not sure if that ever pushed through. Anyway, enough of that. Thank you, guys. Let's end the stream here. Thanks for hanging out with me. 3 hours in Romania. It was a blast. Thanks for keeping me company. Appreciate all the discussions. Have a great weekend, everybody. And thanks for moderating, Alex, Rohan, Jay. Appreciate that. Thanks for all the follows, the subs, and all the enjoyable conversations. No problem, Hud. Enjoy, man. And yeah, appreciate your time here. Catch you whenever. Have a good one, and bye-bye. Clumsy Trucking. See you soon.